Hey everybody, welcome back to Active Self-Protection Extra. It's Neil here on another Mantis Monday. Got something a little different this week.
Palm pepper spray has recently reformulated for even more effect when you bless the deserving with the hot sauce. Palm is what I use between a harsh word and a gun and encourage everyone to do likewise.
All right, so if you've been following along, I've been doing just about everything I can with the Mantis. I've gone through just about all of the courses of fire dry, done a ton of the live work and all of that. But this week I really want to try to put everything together, and I want to spend a little bit of time doing something different. And so I've got the Mantis actually off. It's sitting over here still on my mag. We're not going to use it this week. We're gonna test the work that we've done and see where we're at. And I think one really good drill to put together a whole lot of the work that we do dry and test it and see where we are is, you can do your draw to first shots and you can work that all down. You can do failure to stop, so you've got a draw to first shot with a follow-up shot and a transition and all that kind of stuff. But one that I find to be the most difficult for folks and teaches us a lot is the build drill. And what the build drill is, it's a draw and shoot 6 shots into a zone target and do that as quickly as you possibly can. And I think it tells us a lot because we get that draw to first shot and we get to find out, can we handle recoil? A lot of folks can handle that draw to first shot, and then the second one gets a little wonky, and we can even clean that up to where we can draw and get 2 shots and then a transition, and we can fix our draw during a our grip, during a transition or something. But handling recoil on the same target for 6 shots is a lesson in and of itself, and that's something that I want us to work on this week. So my challenge to you is going to be to go out to your range, and I'm out here on the fabulous Widener range. I've been videoing most of the morning here, and I'm watching the snow melt. It's getting more and more green as I make these videos, and I'm blessed to have a great place to do this. But I also want to put all of this together here. So I'm standing at my range and I get to do this. At your range, sometimes rapid fire isn't a thing and you may have to find one. Sometimes a range drawing and firing isn't a thing and you got to get certified, or you just simply can't do it. So you may have some challenges that I don't have, and I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I'm saying go find a place that you can do this and test this and see where you're at and get an idea. When I first started shooting, pistols kind of seriously about 5 years ago, everybody was talking about a 5-second build drill was kind of the goal. And man, when I started, that was a challenge for me to get the gun out and shoot a 5-second build drill, 6 shots. That's one person, it's 1 second splits roughly to get in there, and that's a challenge for some folks, and that's where we are. And there's nothing wrong with being where you are. I think there's something wrong with not knowing where you are. So if you don't know what your number is, it's hard to get better, and it's hard to know what to work on. And it's really easy to sit behind a keyboard and tell everybody else what to do until you go out there and you find out what your numbers are. We talk a lot here on the channel about the Gabe White stuff, but I think Gabe's got those 4 drills down that really tell us a whole lot about what we need to know. And the average shooter out there can come up with a training game plan or a training roadmap to get you where you need to be by just knowing what your numbers are for those. So today what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try to demo a 5-second build drill, and then I'm going to work my way down and see if I can, how much better I can do. Riley Bowman does a build drill till you spill in his class, and I think that's a really good one because you really get to see how fast can I run that trigger till things started getting too wonky to where I'm going out of the A zone. And I'm going to be shooting this at 7 yards here. Got another camera set up there at the target. Hopefully we can get all of that magic to work, but I'll turn it around and I'll show you the target when I'm done as well. But I'm going to start with a 5 seconds. So let me get the other camera on. All right, 5 seconds. Sometimes it's hard to slow down that much, but I'm going to try, okay? So I've got my timer set on kind of a random start, so sometime when I push it in 2 seconds, it should go. So, all right, here we go. Okay, so that was a 7.29, but I think I shot 7 shots. Yeah, 7 shots. So I went pretty slow on that from the target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's a 7 one in there. I'll have to go back and watch the video to see. I should have counted. That's another thing you gotta probably do when you're doing this kind of stuff. But that was actually kind of slow. Let me see here. Shot 6, 7, 2, 9. So I did a pretty slow draw to first shot at 2:15. I wasn't moving fast. I was just trying to make sure I got my hits, and I shot a really tight little group down there. That's probably, now my group wouldn't have been that good 5 or 6 years ago, but that would have been about the time that I was at. So now I'm gonna try to get that closer to a 5-second. Do this right, 6 shots. I think that's 6. Threw one really low, that other camera, because it should probably show you there. That was a 6:17. So I'm getting a little bit quicker here. Now I'm gonna try to run it a little bit faster. I'm gonna try to get down around that 3-second mark. Oh, jumped it. All right, if you don't jump it, you're not trying hard enough. All right, so that was a 292. I should have showed you the timer on the other ones, but that was a 292. All my hits are in, staying in that fist-size shot down there. So I think life is pretty good. I didn't see, let's see here, my draw to first shot on that one was still a 1.5. So I got a lot left in me. As rusty as I am, I ought to be able to do a whole lot faster than that, but let me see if I can go quicker. Okay, so that was a 229. Oh, and then I bumped it when I went. So 229 was my number, and I threw one out. So that's about where I am today. That's just around, I think a 225 would be a turbo time for Gabe's class, although that one miss would give me, I think it's a second penalty or something like that. So here, let me come down here to the target. Yeah, so one is out. This one was shot during one of those slower ones that I was on, but that's a line break. You've got a whole big target. At 7 yards, that feels like a lot, but really what we get is we get to understand recoil, and there's another lesson that comes with these. I'm gonna see if I can get this to see me and that target at the same time. So what we see here is most of my pattern here is up and down. I've got 3 that are kind of off to the side, that are off to the left. And what that tells me is that at some point my left hand wasn't engaged enough. What I really want to see is basically a line of shots straight up and down here. And as I've got a good line from here to here, that's pretty much a straight line. It's off a little bit, you get what I'm saying. Everything is fading to the left of my line. So what that tells me is I'm not engaging. What that tells me, and with my grip, I'm not engaging my left hand enough to bring the gun over. And so I use my left hand on my grip from this side to side. It really pushes that muzzle over to the right and pushes it over to here. So I'm not engaging enough. So I get to, from this build drill, from these 6 shots, or the, what is it, 18 or 19 that I just shot, I really get to get an idea of what's going on in my grip, how am I handling recoil, how is my timing here. I could probably go quite a bit faster with that trigger press as long as I've got my left hand engaged, because I've got, I mean, I didn't even use the bottom third of that entire target, well, except for that one shot that was a draw. That was my draw to first shot, that really low one. But if you're following along, what I'm saying here is there's a ton of lessons I can learn from the build drill. It's a lot of fun to shoot. You get a bunch out of it. You get to learn your draw to first shot. You get to see your recoil management. You get to see what's going on with your grip. You get to learn how to read your sights. And most of these shots I called as I went because I could see where my sight was as I was letting it go. With the dot, when you get at super speeds like that, or faster speeds, I know there's people that are way faster than I am, so don't think that I'm trying to say that, but when you get down there around that 2.5 second build drill, all you're seeing is a blur, and what you're hoping to see is basically a paintbrush of the dot just moving up and down, up and down, up and down. If you see chaos of that thing moving all over, it's 9 times out of 10 it's your grip. For me, when I start getting chaos like that, 10 times out of 10, it's my support hand. It probably is going to be true for the vast majority of you out there as well. It's that support hand. So this week, get to the range, shoot a bill drill or 2 or 5, and learn how to read your target, learn how to read your sights. Draw a line through this A zone right here in the middle, and then kind of see which way am I going. Am I too far right? Am I too far left? And it's going to depend on your right-handed, left-handed. There's a lot of contributing factors, but there are some things that are pretty universal for all of us. And so I know everybody's a little bit different, and you might be that one special snowflake that the left hand pulls it the other way or whatever. That's completely fine, and don't take that as any kind of dig. We're all different, right? But understand you've got to learn how to read your sights, you've got to learn how to read your target, and the bill drill is a great one to do it with. You're putting together all of that work that we've done with the Mantis over the last several months. Your draws and your shots, your draws to first shot, all of that kind of stuff, the timed benchmark, all of that stuff is put together in a bill drill. And it's a fun drill to shoot too. So go have some fun. See you next time.